So last month, my best friend Greg started baking bread. Not just any bread. This man got a sourdough starter and started talking about crumb structure and fermentation windows like he was on the Great British Bake Off. Every day after school, he'd march over to my house with a new loaf, thrust it at my parents, and say, "This one will rise to any occasion." My mom thought he was just being cute, but after the third time, my dad asked if Greg was trying to date the bread. Things got kicked up a notch when prom season rolled around. Greg, still high on gluten fumes, declared, "I'm taking my best loaf to prom. Let's see if it truly rises to the occasion." I thought he was joking, which in hindsight was my first mistake. Night of the big dance, Greg shows up in a suit with a perfectly golden sourdough tucked under his arm. I asked if he at least got the bread a corsage, but he just winked and said, "Don't worry, it's already got a nice crust." We get to the gym, and everyone is staring, mostly at the bread. Greg introduces it to people like it's an exchange student. I tried to play it cool, but the situation quickly got out of hand. The DJ, who clearly had questions about his life choices, agreed to a bread dance. Next thing I know, half the senior class is lining up to take turns waltzing with the loaf. My own date ditched me for a slow jam with what I can only describe as a particularly voluptuous boule. By the end of the night, Greg and I were both sitting on the bleachers, dateless, watching the bread crowd surf to "Don't Stop Believin'." I sighed and said, "Well, Greg, looks like your bread really did rise to the occasion." He just shrugged and replied, "Yeah, but I didn't need this kind of competition."